Right now we're on the PW50 Cobra 50 owners and hobbyist group, but we'll bounce around a little bit. That's the older Cobra, not really a great question to answer. Wanted QT50 ring and pinion setup. You could buy a QT50, but a lot of times they're already stripped out of there and you pay a lot, you know, and then you can't really recoup your money selling the parts anymore like it used to be. So you can look around on eBay. Let's see if there's any on there right now. And you're gonna go QT50 gear. Let's just see what comes up. Let's try to QT50 ring gear. These things can be hard to get, so I'm just kind of showing the process. Here's one that looks like everything you need. At a minimum, you need this shaft right here, and you need this ring right here. You can use this shaft from your old, from your PW50. This presses out of this piece, right? But that all goes in the back wheel. If you hear, you know, QT50 ring gear, whatever that is, you'll know the 3L6 is what you'll see on the PW50 on the part number that it's right here. Usually you'll have a 3L6, a part number that starts with a 3L6, but you have a 3L5 with the QT50 gear. So that's, besides counting the rings here, that is one way to know what you got. So there's a couple of them up here. There's always one or two, you know, and you'll pay anywhere from $250 to $400 for them. People will have them on bikes or at the track. Sometimes you can get the best deals that way. That's how I find them. Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, another place to look. So let's do dictation, so I'm not typing a bunch of. You'll have to check eBay. They range anywhere from $250 to $400, and also check OfferUp and Marketplace. The only other option is to find one on a bike or one that someone has at the track. A lot of times you can get a better deal that way. I had a lot of typing sounds in my last one, so I'm just dictating the responses. Now, I had already responded to this guy. My buddy had one. I was trying to help him get it over to the guy, but he had already sold it. There we go. Okay, next question. Let's see if there's some more PW stuff on this board. A lot of times there's Cobra stuff on here. Looking to upgrade my son from his PW50 Junior 50 and found this 2012 CX50. Seller states it needs a stator. It is worth grabbing for $500. You know, you're not gonna get parts and stuff like that. It's gonna be difficult to find parts, so not really. I would try to get a 2017 or newer. You should have no problem getting a 2017 newer for a couple grand. That's just going to be the entry for Cobras. If you don't have a couple grand to buy the bike, you're going to trip out on what parts and maintenance cost on those things. So just do yourself a favor and wait till you're ready, or stick on, well, his kid's probably a little too big for a PW if he's looking at FWE size bikes. But anyways, hi people, can anyone point me in the right direction for handle lever upgrade, please? Thank you. The PW50 handle levers are pretty good, to be honest. They're like long, they have a they taper down closer to the bar. So they're a good combination of being close. Like if you ever look at the Stasic bikes, those are terrible, right? As far as the first ones, how far away the brake was from the handle, it was like a hazard. And so in general, the stock one is one of your best options. There's one they make. Let's see if anyone put it in the comments here. The name of the company, I'm drawing a blank right now. I want to say it's not a Serbi. It's they're always out at the track too. They're really nice people. Well, let's see. He responded here. Thank you. No problem, sir. Okay. You know, and they sell them, the online retailer guys sell them. I'll find it right now though. ASV makes one, and I think Aftermarket Minis has their own version. I don't know if PAX does. PAX might be selling the ASV ones, but they all look very similar, if you know what I mean. So those are the places you can check those out for. Let me give him a response. Someone else probably already handled it, but come on, where were we? Go see PAX. And we have different handlebar kits, brake lever kits in the section of our website. This is the one I see it have out at the track. I haven't seen too many PW levers break, to be honest, but this is unbreakable in the sense that it's like a folding style lever, and it does sit a little closer to the bar, but it can also cram up if your kid has too big of knuckles. You know, if he's fine on the regular one, you might want to just kind of check the clearance before you go over to these. But these are some good people, these guys. I see them at the track and they're cool. So I'm gonna put their link up. It looks like the other guys, minis and packs, already kind of handled putting their stuff up there. So I'm just gonna say, let's see. The stock ones are actually done pretty well. Sit at a good distance from the handlebar for most 4 to 7 kids, but you have some other option. I know ASV makes one. Here is the link for that. You can also find different versions at Aftermarket Minis and PAX Racing, I believe. Okay, of course, it wrote out 4 to 7, so let's change 4 to 7-year-old kid. Fix that. Okay. I've gotten these from Sam before with the number on them, and they're pretty cool. So glad to see he's still doing that. Why is new 2025 PW50 being hard to start? Dirty Pilot Jet. The Wii bike hasn't even been ridden yet. It was gotten for Christmas, but me and the boy not sized for it yet, so I wouldn't think there's any dirt in the carb, but I will pull the carb to have a look. It's not dirt, it's old fuel that gets gunked up in the hole, very common. This actually happened to the one I first had gotten my son a few years ago, or it just kind of needs the full new bike treatment. So, okay. You're going to want to make sure that you have the exhaust governor taken out. It is a little washer that sits inside of where the exhaust pipe connects. The next thing you're going to want to do is pull the carb off, unscrew the bottom 4 screws, and spray some carb cleaner through to make sure that you don't have any gunk from the old fuel that was sitting in it. Also, just verify that you have fuel in the tank and that the petcock is turned on and there's fuel flowing out of the tube. The next thing you want to check is spark. You can either put a new spark plug or pull the spark plug from the cylinder by unscrewing it, leave it attached to the cap, and put the end of the spark plug against the frame and kick the Kickstarter. Make sure that the throttle switch is turned on. If you see spark, then you should be good on spark. You can replace the part, you can put the spark plug back into the cylinder. After all that, it should be starting. How's that for a response? Now we just gotta edit it because I messed up when I was talking. Let's see. I was reading that a bunch of times because I cannot believe this. Okay, I can't believe this. The dictation software fixed my error where I was speaking. Isn't that kind of crazy? AI is insane. That'll get him by or keep him busy till he figures that out. When he's in one of those areas, he'll figure it out probably, right? When he said new bike, I felt like I needed to give him a little extra help. I am supposed to go pick up my very own son, so I'm gonna have to cut this one short, but most of the rest of these are Cobra questions anyway. We're gonna stick to P-dubs on here and for now, in the spirit of being effective for the audience. Cobra questions, I mean, we can venture it in there at some point maybe. Alrighty, time to go get my boy.